Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By now you all can tell that I am hyper eccentric. You know, I'm far from normal. Look at your boy. Look at your freaking boy. Your boy freaking glowing. Yo, I got the freaking glow. I got the glow. Well, so today I want to discuss a couple of projects I'm working on. Primarily, so this news website I launched is called GANG-STALKING, and it is quite a peculiar domain name. I find it intriguing that I was fortunate enough to have access to two compound generic words and sort of, technically gang-stalk isn't a word in the strictest sense, but it is with the ED. Yo, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I'm excited. Because what I'm excited about is because on one hand, I have my website, which is basically a radical, materialistic, scientific worldview. Very seldom do I venture into the staunch idealism, metaphysics and stuff. But this new website is a community-based, social, interactive, community-based platform. Technically, it's a forum, and I find gang-stalking to be an intriguing phenomenon because it's really a multidisciplinary field of study. Because there's so many different interpretations of, this whole idea of gang-stalk. What is this? Is gang-stalk a metaphysical phenomenon? A byproduct of mind and matter? Look at your freaking boy. Yo, your boy freaking, I'm glowing. So, is gang-stalking a metaphysical phenomenon, a byproduct or epiphenomenon of mind and matter, substance and attribute, or is it a phenomenological phenomenon, a byproduct or epiphenomenon of the structure of consciousness? What's this? The structure of consciousness and the human experience, from a religious standpoint, spirituality attribute gang-stalking to the demonic. It's demonic. It's angel versus demons, and, you're part of the, hypothetically, part of the 144,000, and, from birth you are anointed, and, you have all the satanic and the demonic, what they call the term, legions assigned to you at birth. The whole objective is to sort of staunch your higher awakening or your higher sense of consciousness. So you have the whole idea of it being supernatural, where there is this immaterial, conscious entity that seem to permeate the human psyche. Anyone who seems to be predisposed to, let's say, hypothetically, any sort of pathological, psychopathological, or pathophysiological disorder, disease, or illnesses, or who are prone to substance abuse. You could be somewhat of a conduit to source these, what they call, if we want to venture into extraterrestrial, we say intergalactic and interdimensional intervention. And then you have the radical materialistic scientific interpretation of gang-stalk, where they say it's all technological, it's mind control, it's voice to skull, it's artificial telepathy, synthetic telepathy, and a lot of these synchronicities are really, they're not organic synchronicities, they're artificial synchronicities, they're synthetic synchronicities, they're manufactured synchronicities, or they're simulated synchronicities. So you have the scientific worldview, it's based on, technology. Then you have the metaphysical, a byproduct of mind and matter, substance and attribute. A lot of these phenomena, epiphenomena, supernatural phenomena that germinate is really a byproduct of your consciousness, your unconscious or subconscious, universal unconscious level. So we have the scientific interpretation of gang-stalk, and then we have the metaphysical interpretation, we have the phenomenological interpretation, it's a byproduct of structure of consciousness and human experience, and we have the religious interpretation. You know, it's demonic, it's spiritual, you know, because we are spiritual first, and you know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and what we're experiencing is a supernatural phenomenon, a byproduct of, or a subordinate of a spiritual attack. But then you have the pathological phenomena, pathological study of mental disease, psychopathological, you know, mental disorder, pathophysiological, the physiological processes of mental disorder, you know, where it can be attributed to apophenia, pareidolia, hallucination, delusion, psychosis disorder. Follow me down the rabbit hole, Morpheus. Welcome to the Matrix, schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, you know. So that's a parapsychological interpretation. Parapsychology studies mental phenomena that's inexplicable and excluded from that of orthodox science. Your boy look freaking handsome today, yo. You know. And then you have the physics interpretation of it, attributed to, you know, based on an infinite amount of chaos, narrative is inevitable. So a lot of these coincidental or synchronistic phenomena that we attribute to supernatural or these highly improbable synchronistic sort of symbiosis phenomena that's always seem to coincide and seem to correlate with some kind of interference to interject our daily activity. You know, physics attributed to, hey, this, you know, based on an infinite amount of chaos, narrative is inevitable. I find gang stalking to be quite an intriguing phenomenon because there's so many. My objective here is not to discuss, you know, what exactly it is, but sort of create a platform so individuals, you could aggregate all these disparate views and conglomerate them under one sort of interactive umbrella where users with different interpretation of the same phenomenon could come together and have a discussion about this phenomenon. Another interpretation of it is a parapsychological phenomenon. You know, so stuff like precognition, premonition, clairvoyance, retrocognition, telepathy, telekinesis, psychokinesis. You know, which is actually a branch of metaphysics or a subdominant of metaphysics. Because metaphysics uses mind and matter, and parapsychological phenomena studies mental phenomena as inexplicable. But just phenomena that's excluded from that, from radical materialistic or orthodox science. So there's a lot of, then there's a spiritual interpretation. And there's an extraterrestrial interpretation that we are ancestors, you know, of these Anunnakis, or the Sumerians, or we possess this Titan genes, and it's all about junk DNA activation and all this intergalactic and interdimensional interference is to sort of staunch us from tapping in or activating that so-called, what they call the DNA activation, where your DNA activates and your intellect, your cognizance accelerates to 100%, you know, and then you achieve what we call divine God mode. So visit my website, gangstalk.com, and take a look at it, and you know, just dabble, and you know.